What if I told you that thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, and even late 80s had successfully regained strong, hard erections in just 7 days without the need of any dangerous procedures, medications, or pills? Doesn't it sound impossible? However, it isn't. Actually, the answer might already be hidden in your kitchen cupboard or on the shelf in your bathroom. With more than 30 years of clinical experience, I'm Dr. Mohit Khera, a men's health specialist who helps men regain their confidence, vitality, and performance. I have personally witnessed how erectile dysfunction can steal a man's identity in a subtle way, gradually eroding his relationships, sense of self-worth, and even his will to live life to the fullest. But what if I told you that lack of desire or low testosterone aren't the true causes of ED in the majority of older men? It's worn-out neural pathways, quiet inflammation, and poor circulation that have been ignored for too long. The pharmaceutical business wants you to think that a blue pill is your only option. However, I'm going to show you something very different today. Something old, tried and true, and supported by contemporary science. A straightforward oil massage technique that maintains healthy testosterone, reactivates nerve sensitivity, and improves blood flow from the outside in. Later in this video, I'll also show you the same 7-day regimen I employ with my own patients, which combines 5 different oils in a precise order for optimal results. Stay with me because what you're going to discover has the power to permanently alter your life, your self-esteem, and your bedroom. Make sure to hit the bell and subscribe button before we start so you don't miss any effective, natural ways to regain your vitality. If this message resonates with you, please let me know by typing 1 in the comment section. Type 0 otherwise. I can better serve you thanks to your input. Now that you know what's feasible, let's find out why weak erections are a problem for the majority of men over 60, and why age and desire aren't the true issues. It begins with something much more harmful and silent. Your body's inherent vascular capacity is gradually shutting down, and your blood flow is declining. 1. The real story of erectile dysfunction. After 60, I'd like to share with you something I've witnessed repeatedly at my workplace. It may also sound familiar. A man enters who is in his late 60s. He is sharp-minded, robust, and bright. However, there is something burdening him beneath his smile. He can't quite say it aloud, but his eyes tell me. He believes that his masculinity is eroding. He used to awaken with vigor, with a sense of purpose, with the familiar reminder that his body was still functioning normally. But now, there's nothing, every morning. Nothing but quiet. A sort of silence that begins to undermine his connection, his confidence, and even his perception of himself in the mirror. He makes an effort to hide it. Every man experiences it. He assures himself, and it's just aging. It's possible that he takes the blue tablet once, twice, or even 12 times. He seems to be pretending, though, because he knows in his heart that performance is not the only issue. It has nothing to do with sex. It has to do with identity, life, connection, and being a man. And this is what I always tell him. You're not damaged. You're still in your prime. And no, aging isn't the only cause of this. Nobody ever told you about what's actually happening within your body, something that can be fixed. Our blood vessels harden with aging. Our blood flow slows down. The minuscule roads that formerly delivered life into our most important tissues start to get clogged with tiny inflammatory chemicals. The nerves that were once lightning fast start to weaken, and gradually, without our knowledge, the spark fades. This is where I find hope, nevertheless, because I have repeatedly witnessed it. there is still that spark. It's simply buried, and it can come roaring back with the proper support, the right tools, and the right approach. If you're still with me, allow me to introduce you to the first oil that may literally awaken your blood vessels and revitalize your circulation, because the true healing starts there. 2. When I first began suggesting peppermint oil to my elderly male patients, the response was nearly always the same: peppermint oil, your circulation reboot. Do you mean the ingredients I added to my tea, doctor? They would laugh. I would grin, and then I would implore them to have faith in me and give it a shot. When used properly, peppermint oil can increase blood flow in ways that most drugs cannot, which is something they were unaware of. The substance known as menthol is the source of the magic. It's what makes peppermint feel chilly and tingling. However, menthol has a remarkable effect on your body. It causes your blood vessels' unique receptors to physically open up, causing a surge of blood flow to the places that require it most, and not only for a short time. Regular usage of this oil helps retrain your vascular system, increasing the elasticity, responsiveness, and vitality of those tiny capillaries. It's similar to cardio for men without ever having to go to the gym. I've had men shake their heads in shock and return a few days after trying the program. One of them, a 72-year-old ex-firefighter, was crying as he gazed at me. "I haven't woken up like that in over 10 years, Doc," he remarked. I believe that aspect of me was vanished. Nevertheless, something changed when a small amount of peppermint oil was combined with a mild carrier, such as coconut or jojoba, and rubbed in slow circular motions. The blood came back, the warmth returned, and the confidence came along with it. Here's a warning though. Peppermint oil has a strong effect. Always dilute it. Don't use it directly, and begin modestly. In the beginning, 2 drops is more than enough. Burning is not the aim. Its purpose is to gradually and steadily awaken things. When your body is getting ready to heal, do it in the evening before going to bed. This develops into more than just a massage over time. It turns into a ceremony that invites your body to resurrect itself by reminding it of how it used to work. The next oil I'll share with you helps feed the fire from deep within by restoring the very hormone that initially made you feel like a man. If peppermint oil helps light that flame. 3. Oil of ginseng, the amplifier of testosterone in nature. Ginseng has always captivated me for some reason. Ancient healers used it as a sign of male strength, endurance, and life long before we had labs, prescription drugs, or hormone panels. And now that science has finally caught up, we can see that this root, particularly when it comes to its oil form, may be the secret to one of the most crucial aspects of male vigor: testosterone. One of my patients, Paul, a 67-year-old Vietnam veteran, comes to mind. In addition to his erections being weaker, he came to me because he felt strange, exhausted, and flat, as if someone had muted his masculinity, and I was well aware of what was taking place. Over decades, rather than immediately, his testosterone had gradually diminished. It simply wasn't gone. Dosing off? Additionally, when applied properly, ginseng oil helps to awaken it. Ginsenosides, the active ingredients of ginseng, function similarly to microscopic messengers. They tell your body to make more free testosterone, which is the hormone's most active and useful form. But increasing numbers isn't the only goal. Ginseng oil helps your endocrine system remember how it worked in your 30s. Your body is not forced, it is retrained. That's what makes it so beautiful. Apply it by combining 4 to 5 drops with 1 tablespoon of high-quality carrier oil. The ideal time is in the morning, half an hour after waking up, when your testosterone is already attempting to reach its maximum. The method is purposeful. From base to tip, use long, strong strokes, maintaining pressure for a few seconds at a time. Take your time. This goes beyond arousal. It has to do with alignment, about respecting the process of restoring what has been damaged by time. Men tell me they feel more alive after a few weeks. All day, not just in bed, clearer focus, better sleep, and more energy. It's similar to turning on aspects of oneself that they believed had long since vanished. Additionally, if ginseng functions as a hormone coach, the next oil functions as a nerve jumper cable. Because occasionally the signals don't quite make it to their target, but the body remembers. Things start to get extremely intriguing at that point. 4. Oil of rosemary, rousing the dormant nerves. One of my 71-year-old patients, Tom, once said to me, "Doctor, I'm not just struggling to stay hard." I will never forget that moment. I feel very little at all. That really got to me. Because most men are too ashamed to acknowledge the deeper truth that lay beneath that straightforward statement. Blood flow is important, yes. Hormones do matter. However, nobody discusses another aspect of this puzzle: sensitivity of the nerves. Like an old radio losing its signal, the electrical wiring that once provided intense and instantaneous pleasure begins to deteriorate as we age. But what if you were able to retune it? That's precisely what rosemary oil facilitates. The majority of people consider it to be a culinary herb that can be added to potatoes or chicken. Nevertheless, pure concentrated rosemary oil applied topically has a surprising potential to reawaken nerves that have been dormant over time. The secret is found in 2 potent substances, camphor and rosmarinic acid. In other words, they help your neurons fire more quickly and clearly by increasing nerve conduction velocity. More intriguingly, they encourage neurogenesis, which is the regeneration of new nerve endings. To put it another way, rosemary oil creates new roots rather than merely reviving old ones. Apply with the softest feather-like touch after combining 3 to 4 droplets with a light carrier, such as jojoba oil. Just a whisper across the skin, particularly along the underside where the most sensitive nerves are located, without any pressure or friction. Consider it a signal that pleasure is once again accepted, not a command. The ideal moment, 2 hours or so prior to intercourse. Allow it time to function underneath the surface. Within days, many of my patients report feeling more alive, more responsive to touch, more in tune with their bodies, and more present with their partners. Restoring sensation is just as important as restoring function. But what if the true obstacle to pleasure is something deeper, something that is obstructing your system from the ground up, rather than merely the nerves or hormones? The next oil removes the things that have been preventing you from performing at your best for years. 5. This one may surprise you: Castor Oil, which removes hidden obstructions. Castor Oil. Indeed, the same viscous golden oil that your grandma would have applied to relieve constipation. The majority of people are unaware that castor oil can be one of the most effective remedies for male sexual function, particularly in men over 60, when applied topically, softly, and purposefully. Because it doesn't simply heal symptoms, it also penetrates deeper into the tissues, into the inflammation, and into the blockages that have been subtly accumulating for years. I've witnessed it accomplish things that most pharmaceuticals couldn't ever begin to touch. You know, Many men suffer from low-grade chronic pelvic inflammation, which can be brought on by stress, poor eating habits, aging, or even spending hours sitting down each day. In your plumbing, that irritation functions similarly to rust. It causes the body's own waste disposal system, the lymphatic flow, to get clogged, the blood vessels to narrow, and the tissue to stiffen. The circulation your erections rely on is gradually choked off by this poisonous accumulation over time, which is where castor oil comes in. Its main ingredient, ricinoleic acid, melts away the internal rust by penetrating deeply into the skin. That's not all, though. Additionally, it encourages your lymphatic system to remove waste and poisons that have become lodged in your pelvic floor. I frequently suggest what's called a castor oil pack. It's easy, calming, and incredibly healing. A warm, moist cloth is placed over the lower belly and groin for 15 to 20 minutes after a tiny amount of the oil has been gently warmed. No pressure, no massaging. Simply relax and let the healing process to start. Some of my patients prefer to perform it as part of their evening routine, while others prefer to do it while reading. They all agree that I feel lighter, clearer, and less obstructed down there. Many people begin to notice harder erections and a restoration of that deep interior energy they believed had permanently disappeared within a week or two. However, what if I told you that there is one last oil, an age-old cure that supports hormones, circulation, and nerve health? It accomplishes this from the inside out. Keep watching if you're prepared for the protocol's crown jewel. You won't want to miss this one. 6. Black seed oil, the crown jewel of hormonal recovery. Black seed oil is the one oil I would unquestionably suggest to any male over 60. This isn't a fad at the health shop or trendy supplement. Ancient physicians mentioned this cure, which has been utilized for more than 3,000 years and is highly valued in Middle Eastern, Asian, and African cultures. They refer to it as the remedy for all ailments except death. And I've discovered that black seed oil not only lives up to the hype, but even surpasses it in terms of reviving manly vitality. Thymoquinone, a strong antioxidant and hormone regulator, is the key ingredient. Black seed oil is unique because it fixes the actual cells in your body that manufacture testosterone rather than merely patching things up. By reducing cortisol, the hormone that saps your motivation and deconstructs your masculinity from the inside out, it rebalances your stress response. Additionally, it increases your body's production of nitric oxide, which enhances blood pressure, circulation, and, yes, the quality of your erection. After using black seed oil for a few weeks, I've had guys who thought they were hopeless return and tell me, "Doctor, it's like a switch flipped inside of me." This is the way to use it. As your testosterone is naturally poised to rise, take 1 teaspoon of cold-pressed black seed oil internally every morning on an empty stomach, preferably between 6 and 8 a.m. Then, in the evening, massage a few drops into the lower belly and pelvic region after applying them topically with a carrier oil. Make hard, steady strokes, not in a hurry, not a machine. It's like re-establishing a connection you may have lost with your body, with the man you once were. Most men report increased energy, improved focus, better sleep, and yes, harder, more consistent erections after using it consistently. However, their renewed sense of self-confidence is what truly sticks out. Rooted, I'm proud. Aleph. After seeing all 5 oils, you're undoubtedly wondering how to combine them. How should I schedule it? How can I establish this as a true routine? I'll now take you through the precise 7-day oil protocol that has helped thousands of men improve their performance in a safe, effective, and natural way. Let's connect the dots. Conclusion: you may get an erection again at any age with this age-old oil massage. If you've read this far, I'd like to take a time to talk to you as a man who has spent decades listening to men who are just like you, rather than as a doctor. I understand how it feels to see your body change as you get older. I understand the silent annoyance, the personal embarrassment, and the feeling that something important has escaped your grasp. I also understand what it's like to fight back and regain your fire, strength, and presence. Theory is not what you just learned. This isn't hype. It is the synthesis of contemporary science and traditional therapeutic knowledge. It's hope, more than that. Every oil that we have studied today has a distinct function. To restore blood flow, use peppermint. To revive testosterone, use ginseng. Rekindle your nerves with rosemary. To rid the body of years of suppressed inflammation, use castor oil. And to restore your foundation from the inside out, use the crown jewel, black seed oil. By itself, none of these oils are miracles. However, when combined in the proper order and with the correct goal, they create a system, a ritual, and a way to reconnect with oneself. It has changed lives for me, and not in minor ways. I've witnessed confidence restored, despair removed, and marriages reignited. I've witnessed men rediscover what it is to feel completely alive in their own skin after believing they were done with intimacy. This is what I would like you to know. There is more to your story. We all grow when we share. So please share what you learned today and what change you're ready to make in the comments box below. Let's support each other. If you found this video useful or if it even slightly opened your eyes, please click the like button. To be sure you don't miss any information that could change your health, click subscribe. Before you go, ring the bell. If this video was helpful, please enter 1. If not, enter 0. You might not be aware of the significance of your comment. There is yet time. Your body continues to listen. Your heart still desires more. And now you have the means to do so for the first time in a long time. Of course, in a dignified manner and safely. Begin modestly. Maintain consistency. Have faith in the process. Additionally, don't allow anyone, especially yourself, to persuade you that your prime is over. They're not. They're standing by. Therefore, use this information, act, and allow your body to demonstrate its remaining abilities. When you eventually stop covering up the issue and begin addressing its underlying causes, you'll be astounded by the results.